Federal and state political leaders intend to generate an infrastructure-led economic recovery in Australia. This will turbocharge the residential property boom, which is already well underway across the nation. Infrastructure spending is always a key driver of growth in residential property markets, and government plans to fast-track shovel-ready projects will enhance the established trend of rising markets in many parts of Australia. Now, the research conducted daily by the Hotspotting team places considerable emphasis on announcements of major new infrastructure developments. The best places to invest have impact from infrastructure in two key ways. One is existing infrastructure, such as public transport, schools, medical services, and retail outlets. And the second way is through spending on new infrastructure. New infrastructure is particularly influential on generating growth in residential property markets. Our belief is that no other factor impacts property markets as strongly as major new infrastructure spending. That impact occurs both during construction and after the facility is completed. Infrastructure such as new motorways, rail links, hospitals, and universities improve the amenity and desirability of the locations directly impacted. These projects generate major economic activity and employment, and from that flows demand for real estate. From 2013 to 2017, both Sydney and Melbourne had significant real estate booms, which was not replicated in other parts of Australia. During that period, the markets in Perth and Darwin were in reverse, and those in Brisbane, Adelaide, and Canberra were largely stagnating. The fundamental difference between the markets that were booming and those that were not was the infrastructure spend. Both Sydney and Melbourne were investing tens and tens of billions of dollars on new infrastructure at that time. As a consequence, the economies of the two biggest cities were strong at a time when the other cities were weak or in decline. Now, we have seen major infrastructure spending transform local economies and their property markets in many significant regional cities across Australia. Projects totaling more than $20 billion have transformed the Sunshine Coast from a tourist town to an international city, and is currently one of the strongest property markets anywhere in Australia. Newcastle, Geelong, and Wollongong were all regional cities which have transitioned from older style economies based on manufacturing to prosperous modern economies through spending on new infrastructure and the generation of new employment sectors. Growth property markets have emerged from the transition in these places. For all these reasons, a new report created by Hotspotting is more important than most. This report is titled Australia's Infrastructure-Led Property Boom, the National Top 10 Hotspots. And we've just published the new 2021 edition. It's a report that encapsulates the essence of the national property boom. So get yourself a copy today.